It has taken me almost 2 weeks to get all the items for this video. But I finally got them all. It only took a few thousand reincarnations to get, so not that many. It's actually quite a lot. So first of all, I think we'll start off with the items that you can get from regular boxes, where there are two of them. The Lemonade Factory and the Nature's Wind. Nature's Wind, it's a conveyor. It moves all fast. Okay, next. Lemonade Factory, the item that's actually worth a damn. It does 5 times, and if your ore is neon, it does 20 times. Decent if you're, life 6. Alright, now let's move on to the limited reincarnations, which I actually managed to get all of them, including the 3 decimal rarity ones. But first of all, let's go over the regular limited reincarnations. The Bee Farm. This is a limited reincarnation that you can get at reincarnation 100, and it's rarity 3. It does a 100 times process rate, but once you reach prestige 7, it will do 1250 times. Yeah, there are better options than this. Next up, the Butterfly Field. This is a reincarnation 25 item, rarity 5, that does 7 times and cleanses fire. Decent. I mean, if you really need a cleanse of fire, there you go. But there are other options. Now then, the Bee Swarm. This is the item that comes out, the Honeycomb Nectar Drenched Gift. This item is interesting. It does 15 times, which is an MP of near 2. It makes your ore that colour, and it makes them transparent, and it makes them glass, and apparently it also makes them delicious. So I'm assuming what it does is it actually turns the ore into a glob of honey. I mean, I can try that real quick. Just let me get my stone mine, and not place it to the point where it's not on the upgrader. Good job. It's good enough. I don't care. Yeah, that looks like a blob of honey if I've ever seen one. It's alright. Next up, Box of Chocolates. This time comes out of the Mysterious Chocolate Box. This item does 10.5 times base upgrade, and it has a maximum of 15.75. This is due to its chance-based aspect that is buffed by Draconic. Now the MP when you buff it by Draconic is 1.992, which is not terrible, but also not great. Apparently it doesn't work right now. It has a random effect of hidden and confetti, and it is again delicious. So, yeah, apparently it doesn't work right now though. Idiom Bird Feed. This is a 5 times upgrade that does up to 15 times, which gives an MP of 2.466. That is, however, if you buff the bubbly that it gives, and the synergy with the tag of Peafowl. Now I don't know what upgrade gives that, but it has a synergy with it, and it comes from the word the bird gift. All the gifts are rarity 0.5. Now then, let's go on to the special event boxes. There are 3 boxes you can get. The Clover box, which costs 10 lucky coins, the Golden Clover box, which costs 20 lucky coins, and the Mystic Clover box, which costs 30 lucky coins. And lucky coins are obtained randomly through reincarnating. Now let's start off with the items you get from the 10 coin box, the Clover box. Starting with the Gold Clover Drill. This is a mine. It is a mine which ores are worth 6 billion? That's quite a lot. What the heck? Oh, it's probably because of the statics over there. It's actually worth 1 billion. It has Lucky infused onto it at the beginning, which gives it a 35% chance to avoid death for up to 5 items. Pretty useful. Useful if you get it earlier on in the game, but once you get a prismatic drill, this thing is outclassed. Next up, Coin Conveyor. This is the item I got in my previous video on this update that I got out of my first Clover box, and it's a conveyor, it moves all fast. I've covered this item already, so we're going to move on. Next up is the Lucky Clover. This upgrades ores based on how lucky they are, and it can go up to 4.5 times maximum luck. And it's not really a useful item, considering you can't really make stuff that lucky at a low life. But I mean, I guess you can if you get everything, but good luck with that. Alright, Clover Infuser. This is actually alright. It's an infuser that can be used with other infusers, and it gives all your ores a 20% dodging harm chance for up to 2 items. It doesn't upgrade your ores, even though it says it does, and it gives you a little bit of walk and jump power. I've actually added this to my list of infusers that I use to gain my speed buff. Egg. Wait, what? What? Okay. Alright, and finally, Leprechaun Blaster. This is actually probably the best item you can get out of this crate. It does 4 times, can do up to 6 times if buffed by Cursed, and it can be looped infinitely with a diminish rate of 0.05. It does have a 15% chance to kill you all, but that's not too bad. You can actually loop this pretty well for a little bit, which is actually very good if you're a new player. I highly recommend trying to get this one, but this was the last one I got out of the blimmin' Clover box, so take that what you will. Alright, moving on to the 20 coin box, the Golden Clover box. Starting off with the Lucky Horseshoe. This item requires a cannon to use, and it does 7 times. Now, it's not too hard to use with the cannon, it does have a pretty big upgrade beam, but 7 times, it's pretty small, so 7 times is pretty generous, but it does require a cannon, which is kind of a bad thing. Next up is the Blessed Botharan. This is a upgrader that does 10 times, but is buffed by Remixed to get it up to 20 times. Aesthetically, it is a drum. It's some sort of drum, I think, percussion instrument. And 10 times could be useful for a newer player. Technically, all of this is useful for new players, but new players are going to have a tough time getting this. What am I saying? Alright, next up, Chocolate Coin. This one is a small item that only does 2.5 times, but for every tag that you have in your ore, it increases the multiplier up to a maximum of 5 times. And it needs about 16 tags to get it up to its maximum multiplier. And honestly, or is it 8? It's 8 or 16. I don't know how this works. It does that. That's all you need to know. Alright, next up, Gold Cauldron. This item does a lot of things. First of all, it's 5 times and does up to 10 times when lucky increase. Makes your ore metal and gold colour and plays an upgrade sound. Very interesting. Aesthetically, it looks pretty nice. It's glowing. Next, Greedy Bag of Gold. This item is another one that's affected by luck. However, this one actually gets up to a 2.2 MPU, thanks to its high multiplier of 24 times and its small size. And it also makes your ore metal. This is probably one of the better items from the 20 coin case, but nothing is as good from the case as the Lucky Block. A 1 tile long upgrader that can do up to 4.65 times. It is buffed by Draconic and it has a random effect of either fire, poison, lucky or frozen. And honestly, I'll probably use this in my setup because it's very small, it's got an okay multiplier without buffs, and if you can buff it up, it'll be a very powerful item to use. And now we get on to the actually good items that come from the 30 coin crate, the Mystic Clover crate. Starting with the Clover Temple. This is a raised upgrader that has a lucky increase that caps at 4 times. It does 5 times and gets 20 times at the maximum luck. However, the fact that it's raised and its MPU is pretty low, it's probably one of the worst items out of the 30 coin crate. Next up, Fizzy Float. This is also not that good of an item that comes from 30 coin crate. It can get up to 2 MPU, which is great, but that bubbly effect, if you can negate it, then the Fizzy Float's actually alright, if you buff it as well. But otherwise, it's not going to be a very easy to use item. Alright, next up is the Crappy Luck. Interesting name, and pretty weak. It does 12 times, 1.8 MPU, and it gives you all lucky 20% for 3 items. I've already explained what lucky does, so we're going to move on. Alright, and now we get on to the 3 items that are actually good and will be used by any high life player trying to go for a fast setup. First up is the Ancient Charms of Luck. This is a static that upgrades your ores in 0.5 seconds, for doing 4 times once. And it gives you all lucky a 75% dodge harm chance for 1 item. You're not going to really use it for the lucky though, you're going to use it because it's a static. Next up, Soul Pylon. This does 1.5 times up to 5 times and upgrades every second. This is roughly 7 times when it maxes out after a few seconds. And yeah, use it. It's a static. Just place it anywhere in your setup and it'll do good. And last is the 57 Leaf Clover, an AoE item that does 9 times. Its AoE range is kind of small, so you do have to kind of have it somewhat close to your setup, but it is a portable, so it automatically makes it good. And that is the last of the items from this event. I hope this video helped you out, and yeah, now you know what all the items do if you are unable to get them, or just don't care and want my opinion on them. I am very close to my avatar's face right now. Anyway, that's all for this video. I will see you in the next one, which will probably be not too long, because I believe the next update is coming out tomorrow. I don't know what's in that update, but we'll just have to find out. And so I'll see you then. No, they added pets to the game. No! Get this Eldritch Abomination away from me! No!